Dear graduating class of 2022, what a pleasure it is to be with you today. I remember being your teacher as if it were only yesterday, except now, wow, you have grown up. No longer los chiquititos in Form 1, but now the grandotes, now the graduates. Time does fly. And we ask the question, where does it go? Today's theme is Under Your Faithful Watch. To me, this is actually a really cool theme. And the theme verse that you chose from Psalm 121, verse 8, is also very special to me. But before I talk about this theme and verse, I want to read the entire psalm. It reads like this. Listen carefully as we listen to what God has to say to us today. I lift up my eyes to the hills. Where does my help come from? My help comes from the Lord, the maker of heaven and earth. He will not let your foot slip. He who watches over you will not slumber. Indeed, he who watches over Israel will neither slumber nor sleep. The Lord watches over you. The Lord is your shade at your right hand. The sun will not harm you by day, nor the moon by night. The Lord will keep you from all harm. He will watch over your life. The Lord will watch over your coming and going, both now and forevermore. Psalm 121 is a psalm of ascents. And if you realize that last word, ascents, looks like another word you may know, ascend. And ascend means going up. It actually refers to a journey. So, I want you to consider closing your eyes and begin to imagine the context of this psalm, the journey that is taking place. Imagine the ancient city of Dan in the very, very far north of Israel. 3 times a year, you are asked to make a pilgrimage, a journey south to Jerusalem, approximately 130 miles. You get your family together and off you go, not in an airplane, not in a bus, not in a car. No, you put on your sandals and off you go walking. Yes, walking at least 130 miles for those from Dan. And along the way, you pass through valleys and hot, dry places, alongside steep cliffs and past caves. You walk through dangerous wilderness areas where there are wild animals and thieves. And perhaps you would come by the way of the path along the Jordan River Valley, which meant that later you would have to climb thousands of feet to get to Jerusalem. You would have to ascend. Not an easy journey. Not necessarily a safe journey. A journey filled perhaps with many challenges. But yet, a journey filled with joy, especially at the end. In fact, there was a very good chance that as you ascend into Jerusalem, you would be singing this very song along with many other Jews. I lift my eyes unto the hills, from where does my help come? My help comes from the maker of the heavens and the earth. And so, you and I would be part of a choir of joy, perhaps 1,000 or more voices, Imagine that. And we would be anticipating what is about to happen in Jerusalem. That's just a short description of a Jew's journey as they ascend into Jerusalem. Now, I am also on a journey. I can look back at some of those events of my journey, some good and some not so good, and perhaps you may describe some of those events as terrible. March 3, 1962, my birthday. June 1985, my first visit to Belize. May 26, 1990, I married the most beautiful woman in the world. December 29, 1993, the birth of my first child, Jeremy. November 16, 1998, the birth of my second child, Brittany. September 2003, being part of the groundbreaking ceremony for this wonderful institution, Cornerstone. And then June 4, 2022, I became a grandfather. And that is why my wife is not here today. She is busy taking care of my daughter and grandson. Some excellent memories in my journey. And then there are these other memories. 2012, bitten by a very poisonous snake in the ankle, almost dying. 2015, attacked by killer bees. Many stingers stuck in my skin, poisoning my body. Once again, almost dying. 2019, breaking my leg in the worst possible place, the head of the femur bone. And as you can see, I'm still with a cane and still limping. 2019 to 2022, going through physical therapy, learning to walk again. Like I said before, these memories to many of you may seem to be terrible. But when I look back, I can look back with joy. Through the good and the bad of my journey, there was always joy. And as a result, there is still a smile, and often a big smile on my face. The Jews were on a journey. I am on a journey, and you are on a journey. Your journey is not as long as mine. I'm in my 60th year. Your journey is practically just getting started. Now, I have a question. Has your journey so far been marked by joy? Yes, I have used the word joy several times. And now I come back to the Bible passage. Why did the Jews sing this song of ascent with joy during their journey? And here's the reason why. Because their help came from the maker of heaven and earth. Why am I joyful in my journey, even during times of snake bites, bee attacks, and broken legs? Well, the answer is simple. Because my help comes from the maker of heaven and earth. And why are you joyful in your journey? Is it because your help comes from the maker of heaven and earth? This passage is about the gospel of Jesus Christ. You see, God, the maker of heaven and earth, sent us help. We are sinners. We have fallen short of the glory of God. We are like filthy or dirty rags. On our own, we cannot step into God's presence unless we have accepted God's help, unless we accept the one who God sent, the perfect sacrifice, the righteous one, the holy one, Jesus Christ. And I am positive you have heard that name Jesus over and over and over again in the years that you have studied at Cornerstone. And when we accept God's help, that is Jesus, then and only then can we experience true joy. This true joy is a feeling of good pleasure and happiness that is dependent on who Jesus is, rather than on who we are or what is happening around us. Joy comes from the Holy Spirit, depending on God's help and hope from His Word. Listen to the last part again, your theme verse. The Lord will keep you from all harm. He will watch over your life. The Lord will watch over your coming and going, both now and forevermore. At the end of the Jews' journey, they were ascending into Jerusalem to worship God. They believed in that promise that the Lord would keep them from all harm. He would watch over their life. Now note, the passage says life. And life is from beginning to end, from birth to death. The Lord would watch over their coming and going from birth to death. And then it goes on. The Lord would watch over their coming and going both now and forevermore. And note the word forevermore. So God's help not only extends from birth to death, it extends all the way into eternity, forever. The Jews believed in God's promise that He gave to Adam, to Abraham, to Isaac, to Jacob, to King David, the promise of a Messiah, the Christ, or the Anointed One, Jesus, the one who would save them from their sin. That is the Jews' reason for joy, the promise of Jesus, the Messiah. The end of my journey on earth is coming. I don't know when that end will come, but I do know this. I can now live joyfully. I know that the Lord will keep me from harm. He will watch over my life. He will watch over my coming and going both now and forevermore. My salvation is in Jesus Christ, and He is the reason for my joy. Graduating class of 2022, today I would like to wish all of you the very best on your earthly journey. As you have learned through chapels this year, you have learned that you are to be creation enjoyers, to be beauty creators, to be order discoverers, to be earth keepers, to be servant workers, to be community builders, to be justice seekers. And I want you to be each one of those things. I want you to be the best you can be, to do the best you can do, to love the best you can love. Face life's challenges and obstacles with courage and hope. But if I stopped here with just best wishes and encouragements, I would not be doing justice to the theme or the Bible passage you have chosen. Your theme is this: under your faithful watch. To be truly under God's faithful watch, there is a necessary event for everyone's journey. And I must challenge you to fulfill that necessary event. Only then will you have true joy in the journey. It is this true joy the Jews depended on. It is this true joy that I have found and depend on. That true joy is God's help through Jesus Christ. Believe in Him and live life now and forevermore. Be that God worshiper that He created you to be. Be that idol discerner who puts God above all things. Be that image bearer who loves as He is loved through Jesus Christ. I part with these words from the prophet Isaiah, who gives a great picture of what life is in Jesus. And the Lord will guide you continually and satisfy your desire in scorched places, tough places, and make your bones strong. And you shall be like a watered garden, like a spring of water whose waters do not fail. Graduating class of 2022, may God bless you with the true joy of Jesus Christ.